Trail riding takes motorcycle riders off the paved roads and away from the cities and into less traveled territory. Roads made not of asphalt, but of dirt and rock. It's on these trails where riders experience something most people never will. Trail riding is more than just a hobby, it's a passion. Some people call us crazy or adrenaline junkies for it, but it's addicting. Maybe it's being in the middle of nowhere on a motorcycle or not knowing what's around the next turn, but there's nothing else like it, and it's a rush. We don't ride to prove ourselves to anyone. It's not about being the best or the fastest. That's not why we do it. It's about the personal challenge. Trail riding is about mastering your machine to overcome obstacles to get you where you want to go. It's about becoming so familiar with your bike that you trust it completely. You trust it'll get you where you want to go. You'll have power when you need it. It can handle the terrain in front of you, and you ride without even really thinking about it. Your reactions become instinctive. There's a saying, if something scares you and excites you at the same time, then it's probably worth doing, and I think that accurately describes dirt biking. When we ride, we experience nature like most people never have. The desert holds incredible beauty, and on a bike you can go where other vehicles can't, and you can see what most people never will. And that's because you're making your own trail. You're viewing the world from a different angle. Every turn, jump, and hill is different from the last. The elements are constantly changing the terrain, and you never know what to expect. Sometimes the trails are easy, and sometimes they'll challenge you. But out here, there is no pre-running the course. There are no caution signs. It's all on you to read the trails and pick the best line to get you through the obstacles. One minute you could be in the sand, and the next you could be hill climbing or boulder busting. You just never know. You have to be ready for whatever the desert throws at you, and if you're not, you risk going down and damaging your bike or yourself. The protective gear that we wear doesn't make us invincible, but it can prevent more serious injuries from happening. And it can prevent calling in a helicopter to take you to the local hospital. And that's a fear that's in the back of every rider's mind. The terrain out here can be unpredictable and unforgiving. Large rocks, steep drop-offs. You have to protect yourself as best you can. The last thing you want is to injure yourself out here, because when the sun drops, so does the temperature, and that's when things can get really bad. The risks out here are very real and can happen to even the most experienced riders. One small misjudgment and that can result in broken bones, torn ligaments, or even worse. We've seen everything from bumps and bruises to broken legs, broken necks, and watching that happen to someone, particularly someone you know, makes you want to do everything you can to prevent that from happening to you. But you can't let that fear take over and control you. You have to trust your instincts and your equipment and know that you're going to make it through in one piece. Riding with a buddy makes trail riding safer, but it also makes you a better rider. And there's a sense of friendly competition that comes into play, and you can't help but try to outdo the other guy just a little bit, you know, whether it's just going a little bit faster than him or jumping a little bit further. But it definitely keeps you on your toes and sharpens your skills for sure. When you're trail riding, you're pretty much in the middle of nowhere, and the nearest help is miles away. So that's why it's important to have someone there to watch out for you and help you out in case you have a problem. The bikes we ride are designed specifically for trail riding. They have large 4-stroke engines with enough torque and horsepower to get us where we need to go. They have wide ratio transmissions that allow us to slowly crawl through technical trails or achieve high speeds through the flats. They have suspension designed for rocks and ruts, and steering stabilizers that give us more control when navigating technical trails. A lot of riders add armor to their bikes to provide greater protection against the harsh terrain and reduce the risk of breaking down. Skid plates and brush guards are the most common types of armor. Our resources are only what we bring with us: food, water, tools. We have limited space in our saddlebags and have to choose which items are most necessary to carry with us. Items that can be used to band-aid the bike back together just enough to make it back to camp. At the end of the day, we pack up and we go home. We return to our daily lives and our jobs, and few people know what we actually do, and even fewer understand why we do it. But we ride because it's who we are and it's what we do.